What's up everyone? Welcome to our channel Honest Hockey Takes. I'm Hohen and this is Scott, and in this video we'll be talking about our top 10 best centers in the NHL.
Yeah guys, so for this video we're going to be going over our personal top 10 current centermen in the NHL. This is going to be based on the last year and a half, and not a lifetime achievement award. So there's going to be a lot of guys that we know have had amazing careers, very successful, Stanley Cup champions, 1,000-point players, and they might not be on there and they might not be as high, but this is based upon right now. And without further ado, I'm going to pass you off to Hohen to start us off with number 10.
At number 10, I got Mika Zibanejad. Mika Zibanejad from the New York Rangers, and he has been terrific. Last season, he had 81 points in 81 games, like a solid player. In the playoffs, he was even better. And it was crazy, the way he scored goals, the way he can score goals, the way he can skate, the way he skates with that hair. Oh my goodness, he just looks good. You know what I mean? So he never quits on plays. Like, I love how he plays with the speed with Chris Kreider on that line. Perfect.
I like his effort level. This guy doesn't seem to take shifts off. He's always working. A lot of his teammates, especially even like this year and a bit in last year in the playoffs, they kind of took shifts off, but this guy's always out there grinding. As Hohen said, he's still a point per game player. He still puts up big numbers. He can score you 35, 40 goals here and there too. But on top of that, he's just a good example of a leader because he leads by example as well. And he showed us in the playoffs just how dominant he really can be when he amps it up to the next level. So we couldn't have him not in our top 10. All right, coming in at number 9 on our list, we had Steven Stamkos from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, Stamkos has just been red hot of late. It seems like he's scoring pretty much every time they get a power play. His shot is still just as lethal as it was years ago when he started in this league. And he just has such good chemistry with pretty much anyone he plays with right now, whether it's like Killorn or whether it's Kucherov. Like, it doesn't seem to matter really who he's put with this year. He's been putting up big numbers. And on top of that, last year he broke the 100-point mark. So it's really hard for us not to have this guy in our top 10 right now.
Yeah, and not only the 100 points, it's also in the playoffs. He was in those Stanley Cup finals and the Stanley Cup championships. He was a big part of it. I know he might not be the best to me, us Kucherov is, but he is a very good player. He can shoot like crazy. Always has a good slap shot, good wrist shot. However, he can score however way he wants them from that circle. It's crazy. Good player.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And especially for a guy who's 32 years old, he really hasn't had a big fall off. If anything, he's kept pretty much his same game going that he's had from when he was like 23, 24.
Yeah, one last thing I want to add. I remember when he came into the league with Martin St. Louis, how good he was. And he broke that 60 goal, or is it 50 or 60? 50 goals, right?
Yeah, he had 61.
60 goals.
Yeah, 60.
And right now, the way he's playing, or last year, the way he played last year, reminded me so much of that.
Yeah, he definitely turned back the clock last year, that's for sure. That was a huge year, especially without Kucherov for a part of it.
Yeah. And at number 8, we have Sebastian Aho from the Carolina Hurricanes. I've always loved this player. This player is a terrific two-way player. I remember that year when they had the World Juniors of Finland, and with that big line of Patrick Laine, Jesse Puljujarvi, and Aho. Everyone thought that Jesse Puljujarvi and Patrick Laine were the better players, but now with the test of time, Sebastian Aho has definitely been the best player of that line. It's crazy. Like, and this guy was drafted second round pick, right? Second round pick.
No, for sure. And like, one thing about Aho that always gets me, like Hohen says, he's always been kind of underrated. Like, he went in the second round, his teammates were going in the first round much higher up. He ended up having a way better career so far than both of them combined even. And on top of that, this is a guy who can really do it all. He can win faceoffs for you. He can kill penalties. He can play good on the power play. Like, he has good leadership qualities, even though he's not super vocal. He really adds a lot to this team, and he's consistently like right around that point per game mark on top of his good defensive awareness. This guy is just like the perfect type of player for the team that the Carolina Hurricanes are and what they try to do.
Yeah, one part of the game that I really liked about Sebastian Aho, outside of his good defensive play, has always been his vision to find players and the way he can find players and pass them that puck. Always impresses me.
All right, and coming at number 7 on this list, I have one of my personal absolute favorite players in this league, and that is Jack Hughes. Now, I know a lot of people right now watching this probably almost want to turn this video off because they're like, this guy has Jack Hughes at number 7. What is going on? But this guy's an absolute superstar, guys. It's just undeniable. I know a lot of people don't tend to watch New Jersey Devils games, at least maybe not until this year when they went on that heater of a streak there. But this guy is absolutely electric. His skating is top 5 in the NHL, bar none. Between his ability to just like get instant like acceleration in his strides or his cuts and ability to just turn around on a dime, it's just impressive to watch. And on top of that, his stick handling and how smooth his hands are, he's just really good at pretty much everything on the offensive end. And a lot of people will fry him potentially for being kind of a defensive liability because he's small. But on top of that, he also is one of the best players in the last 3 years in takeaways. So he can back check and try to go for that puck.
One thing that always impresses me about Jack Hughes that nobody really talks about is when he gets pressured by the defenseman or the opposing player, he can make that quick, solid decision, like that quick pass to his allies with under pressure. It always impresses me about him. It's actually crazy. Like, and on top of that, like Scott alluded to, he is a terrific skater, probably one of the best skating centermen in the league today, outside of Connor McDavid and obviously, and Nathan McKinnon. But he is a smooth skater, great hands. I love his aggressive, how aggressive he can go to the net and just shoot that puck. That's why New Jersey Devils shoot so many pucks at the net, because the team just follows this guy, because this guy just loves to shoot the puck and everyone else on the team follows him.
Yeah, it's a lead by example type of thing, because he's not really the biggest, like strongest guy by any means, but his play does the talking. And I think my absolute favorite thing about Jack Hughes and his style of play is just no fear. Like, he doesn't worry about making a mistake, whereas you see some other hockey players, they worry when they're going in the offensive zone. They're like, oh, okay, I guess I got to pass it back, or I guess I got to take the conservative route and dump it in. Nah, Jack just beelines it. He's like, I don't care if there's 2 defenders. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try to score, or I'm going to try to get past them. If I F up, it's fine. I'm just going to take a shot at it, and I respect that.
And at number 6, I have Leon Draisaitl from the Edmonton Oilers. Leon Draisaitl is a player that I classify as a high-risk, high-reward player because he's a very capable offensive hockey player who can put up multiple 100-point seasons, as you've seen, playing alongside with the Connor McDavid, of course. But at the same time, he can also put up 50 goals, which is insane. So he's a good, terrific player. But one thing, I watch this guy play all the time, and one thing that I kind of don't like about this player sometimes is that he would make lazy passes a lot of times in his own zone sometimes, and he doesn't even look, and he just passes to the opposing players a lot. But for his offensive prowess, I know he's elite. He's got a terrific one-timer on the power play.
Yeah, this guy's got really good passes, especially like saucer passes and stuff like that. He can really like just hit it on a dime, like it's beautiful. But there's some things that keep him not in our top 5, personally for me. I know a lot of people will think that this guy's a top 3 center automatically because they see these like gaudy point totals. But there's some defensive lack of awareness here that kind of drops him down for me. Along with, I kind of find he gets a lot of these points on the power play, which kind of really brings him down a little bit for me. Not saying he's not like, we have him like 6. Like, it's not like we're saying he's a slouch by any means. But it's just not enough to be ahead of these guys, I think, that we have ahead of him right now.
And as you've seen in the All-Star weekend that one year, he has one of the best passes in the league. To me, he's got one of the best backhand passes in the league. This guy's terrific in terms of offensively, he's terrific, but sometimes I just question some of his decision making again in the defensive end. That's it.
All right, and coming in at number 5, we have Mr. Timeless himself, Sidney Crosby from the Pittsburgh Penguins. This guy, no matter how old he gets, he doesn't change. He is still one of the most absolute elite players in this league. He still leads this team by a landslide in points and even in goals right now. Like, this guy's just awesome right now. He's had a killer start to this year. He was amazing last year. And yet, even at older than 35 years old, this guy has never had a season that wasn't a point per game or better, which is absolutely mind-boggling. And just how he continues to lead by example, and just like he's just such a good voice in the dressing room for this team, and it's why they've been in the playoffs almost every year.
Yeah, I'm very surprised by how he's skating today, even at this age. Right now, even with all the older players at this age, you notice that their skating ability is declining. But with Crosby, it looked like it's timeless. It's like he still has his leg. It's incredible. And the way that he can make plays under pressure, he's got good line mates as well. I mean, he's a terrific player. I won't be surprised if he hits 90 points again this year.
Yeah, and for me, the one thing that separates him and why I have him at number 5 and we have Draisaitl at number 6 is just his ability in his own zone to just be very good. He can, if he wanted to, he could kill penalties. He's a good defensive forward, which a lot of people thought early in his career was not going to happen, but he is really solid in both ends of the ice, and he is definitely no liability there.
Yes, and speaking of that comparison, yes, Draisaitl, I know he kills penalty as well, but I like Crosby's two-way game a lot more in Draisaitl. There's no question about it, especially on 5-on-5.
He's more positionally sound.
Yes.
That's like the biggest thing. Yeah.
Yes, and which leads me to the number 4.
Good segue.
Who is very defensively sound and very good two-way centerman. Probably one of the best two-way centermen in the league in my mind.
Yeah,
and that will be none other than Alexander Barkov from the Florida Panthers. He's the elite two-way centerman in the entire league, in my mind, or in our minds. Like, he is one of the best to ever do it. He is so good. He's a proper 80 to 90 point player every year, pretty much. He's a terrific passer. He is such a big size centerman who can protect the puck, who can protect the puck along the boards. He can play physically. He can handle physical play, and he is an elite. He has elite vision. He has elite passing skills, and he can also score a lot of goals if he wants. So what a player.
When this guy's healthy, because he does tend to miss like 10, 15 games a year sometimes, but when he's healthy, this guy does not have a weakness to his game. Like, his game is one of the most complete games in the NHL. You want a guy who can win faceoffs? He can go out there and win faceoffs. You want a guy to kill a penalty? He can kill a penalty. You want a guy to go get you 90 points in a season? He'll do that. This guy really can do it all. He can pass, he can shoot, he has hands, he can deke, he's a great shootout artist. There really is nothing about Alexander Barkov that is a knock. The only reason that he wouldn't be any higher on this list is because the 3 people in our top 3 centers are absolutely mega stars. So being at number 4 is just impressive as all hell.
And one last thing I want to add about Alexander Barkov is that all the players love playing for him because he's such a team player.
He is like the definition of a team player.
Yeah, he's so humble. He, in the interviews, he's one of the most humble players I've ever seen.
To a fault. He never takes credit for anything.
Yeah, like, he is so good. And I remember one year, John Torelli even put him as his favorite player in the league, and I can see why. Because
Torts would love to have that guy on his team.
One of the best two-way centermen, and he has the proper attitude. It's
Coach's dream child, man. Straight up dream child for a coach.
Yeah.
All right, coming in at number 3, we have Austin Matthews from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, I know there's a lot of debate between 2 and 3 on this list, and heck, I'll be honest with you guys, even for us it was a debate. The only thing that really separated this is the lack of playoff success. But Austin Matthews last year, 60 goals, you can't argue it. It's incredible. The guy's got one of the top 2 best shots in the entire NHL. It's incredible to watch him just release it because he can release it in so many different ways from anywhere on the ice and score goals. Feels like it doesn't even matter where he is. It's just going to go in. And you just have that confidence. As well as he's gotten a lot better defensively over the last 2 years. I got to give him credit. He's been a lot better in his own zone. And that big, huge frame that he has is just like the dream for a centerman. Yeah,
he's a big size centerman that can snipe. He's the best shooter in the league, in my mind. Like, he is so good at shooting that puck in any way possible. He can risk it, he can slap it, whatever, tip it. He can score goals in so many different ways. That what sets him apart from a lot of centermen is that he's big and he's elite. It's not many of those around.
You just don't see a lot of centers that score like this. Yeah. Most centermen are more playmaking type centers, and then the wingers are like the scorers. But Matthews, like, he can do both. He can make beautiful passes, but he can also just pot the puck from anywhere. So absolutely elite. No one's better at it right now currently in the league at scoring goals than Austin Matthews.
Yep. And at number 2, we have Nathan MacKinnon from the Colorado Avalanche. This guy is one of the best skaters in the league.
Top 2.
There's no doubts about it, and he's a big, huge part of why they won the championship for the Colorado Avalanche last season. He's just a really good player with a good leader on the team as well. In my mind, he should be the captain rather than Landeskog.
Yeah, I agree.
No, he's a terrific playmaker. He can shoot the puck as well. There's nothing bad to say about this player. He's just fast.
This guy, every time he's on the ice, he plays like he has a giant like V8. Like, he's just insane. He's always going. And it's like he skates in such a different way than any other player in the league. And I mean that, seriously. He skates so aggressively. Like, you'll get guys like McDavid or Jack Hughes that are very fast, very good skaters, but it feels like it's more like elegant. when Nate's skating, it's just like, I'll run you over, move, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Like, you're not stopping me, and he can start like crazy.
He's like a bulldog.
Yeah, he is literally a bulldog.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I'm like, I'd be so afraid to play defense about this guy. I remember one time in the not in the All-Star game, in the Winter Classic, that Alex Pietrangelo was mic'd up, and he saw Nate coming, and he's just like, oh, shit. Like, he's just like freaking the heck out. He has no idea what he's going to do to stop this like freight train coming at him. And then this guy's got absolutely an amazing shot on top of it. So, I mean, with that kind of skating and that kind of shot, and just his drive to just be the best, it's just, the guy's a force. Alrighty, and at number 1 on our list, and it is no shock to probably anyone watching this, I'm not going to get too cute with it, we have Connor McDavid from the Edmonton Oilers. By far, right now, the best player in the league. Even though I'm not an Oilers fan, and I really don't like that team at all, this guy is absolutely elite of elite. Probably going to go down as one of the best players to ever play the game, like top 2, maybe top 3 at worst. Like, it's just incredible. His speed is unmatched. No one can skate like this guy. It's not possible. No one in history has ever skated like this guy. Absolutely just 10 out of 5 skating kind of thing. Like, it's unreal. And now he's added a shot this year. Like, look how good he's been scoring. Like, when he already was so fast and such a good playmaker, and now he's added the scoring, this guy just cannot be stopped.
Yeah, he is going to go down as one of the best players to ever play the game. Like, this guy his skating is absolutely terrific. The way that he can control his skating at such a high speed is unbelievable. I'm lucky enough to be able to watch this guy live many games. Like, this guy is terrific to watch live because of how fast he is, and the ability and his skating, the control that he has at that speed with the puck, eye coordination with the puck, with the stick, with the skate is unbelievable. And the way that he can drive the net, the way that he does, is unmatched by any other player in the league. He is 100%. As much as I like Kaprizov and all those other players, this guy is easily the best player in the league by a long ways. It's not even close.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And what's always impressed me a lot about his game, even though I hate admitting it, is just how fast of decisions making he can do. Like, when you're going at that speed, it's truly, I don't think people really understand how hard it is to make such quick decisions that turn out so well for this player almost all the time. Whether it's deking by 2 defensemen, like in a certain way, or breaking outside and then quickly cutting in and getting a shot off to the backhand or something. Like, it's just incredible how fast he processes the game while moving at that elite speed.
Yeah. Very different skaters, right? Between McKinnon and McDavid.
Yeah, they skate so
right?
different. One is just like straight, like just so
like you said, a
like,
V8.
Yeah.
And this one's kind of like an inline 4, but it's like a hybrid engine that's like very sophisticated and very high technology that can do like all a bunch of crazy stuff.
They both have absolutely like 1-2 skating in the league, but it's just so different how they do it. And it just shows you right now in the NHL, if you look at this list especially, how much skating and speed really matters.
Yeah, lots.
But I hope you guys enjoyed our list for today. I know there's going to be a lot of argument with some of these, so feel free to leave a comment below and let us know who you think we had too high or too low and who we had missing on this list. We're just going to quickly throw in a couple honorable mentions that didn't make it. Guys that we thought were right on the cusp of our top 10 but didn't quite make it. Guys like Patrice Bergeron, Braden Point, Mark Scheifele. Like, these are types of guys we wanted to add into this list, but
Jack Eichel.
Yeah, Jack Eichel as well. The guys that we would love to have added in this list, but there can only be 10. So that's what we have for you guys today. So if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Take care.
Take care, guys. Bye.